Hey Raiders, the latest news is hot, and we need to talk about the roster moves ahead of the crucial matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 13. Unfortunately, we start with two starters going on the injured list, but there is also some exciting news with the return of Aidan O'Connell and the promotion of other players who could make a difference. Let's break it down, because we know that nothing is more important than beating the Chiefs. Let's get started. We start with the unpleasant news that two pillars of the team have been placed on injured reserve. Gardner Minshew, our starting quarterback, and Jacorian Bennett, a promising cornerback, will not be available for the matchup against the Chiefs, and this completely changes the team's plans. Each of them was essential in their respective positions, and their absences will force adjustments that need to be quick and effective. Minshew had been a key player in running the offense, and his absence leaves a significant void in an already struggling department. He suffered a broken collarbone against the Broncos, and with that, his season is officially over. To make matters worse, we lost Bennett, who was showing great growth in the secondary, but injured his shoulder in the game against the Dolphins in Week 11 and will now be out for at least 4 weeks. Injuries are always tough, but when they happen late in the season, they're even tougher. With the Raiders still struggling to stay competitive, these injuries require quick and effective solutions. But don't worry, Raider Nation, because the answers are already in the works. In the next section, we'll discuss who will take over the offense from Minshew. With Minshew gone, the spotlight now turns to Aidan O'Connell, who is officially back after 4 weeks out with a thumb injury. The rookie was activated from the injured list and is already set to start against the Chiefs. This will be O'Connell's big chance to show that he can be the future of the Raiders and, who knows, lead us to victory in one of the most important games of the season. O'Connell had a promising start before the injury, showing good reading of the game and accurate passing. Now, he needs to step onto the field with confidence, even against one of the NFL's best defenses. Kansas City knows how to pressure inexperienced quarterbacks, so it will be essential that the offensive line does its part and that the game plan protects the young QB from tough situations. Additionally, O'Connell's return brings a dose of hope. He's a talented player with potential, and his chemistry with Davante Adams and Josh Jacobs could be the difference in surprising the Chiefs. Is he up to the challenge? We'll find out soon, but before that, we need to talk about the defensive impact of Jacorian Bennett's absence. If losing a starting QB is tough enough, losing a rising cornerback in Jacorian Bennett makes things even tougher. The rookie suffered a shoulder injury in Week 11 on the second play against the Dolphins and was unable to return in time for the game against the Broncos. He will now be out for at least 4 more weeks, leaving a hole in our secondary. Bennett had shown some progress in his rookie season, excelling with his speed and ability to cover opposing receivers. His absence means the defense will have to rely on other players to contain the Chiefs' high-powered passing attack. Patrick Mahomes is a big no-brainer, and without Bennett, the pressure on the Raiders' defense increases significantly. But all is not lost. The Raiders have already promoted Q Blue Kelly from the practice squad to the active roster, and he will be one of the options to fill the void left by Bennett. We'll talk more about these roster additions in the next subheading and how they could impact the game. With Minshew and Bennett injured, the Raiders wasted no time making some strategic roster moves. Chief among them was the activation of Aidan O'Connell, but we also saw the promotion of wide receiver Terrace Marshall and cornerback Q Blue Kelly, as well as the elevation of running back Sincere McCormick to the active roster. Terrace Marshall, who joined the team in October and was on the practice squad, now has a chance to show his worth as part of the receiving corps. He has appeared in just 1 game so far, but the coaching staff believes he can add to the offense. Q Blue Kelly will be responsible for helping the secondary, especially with Bennett out, and could be an important piece against the Chiefs. Finally, Sincere McCormick is a name fans should keep an eye on. He was promoted from the practice squad last week and had a strong performance against the Broncos, which earned him more snaps this week. That will give him a chance to contribute to the Raiders' ground game, which will be crucial against Kansas City. Speaking of which, let's break it down and understand why these changes are so important. Now that we're talking about who's out and who's in, let's explain why these changes are so important for the matchup against the Chiefs. First, losing a starting QB like Minshew and a cornerback like Bennett late in the season is something any team feels. But the Raiders showed they are ready to react and adapt to adversity. Aidan O'Connell is young, but he has the talent and potential to lead the offense. He brings energy and could surprise the Chiefs with a fast and dynamic game. On the other side, reinforcements like Q Blue Kelly and Terrace Marshall arrive hungry to prove that they deserve to be on the active roster, which could be the difference in decisive moments. Finally, Sincere McCormick could be the key to balancing the offense with consistent running and relieving pressure on O'Connell. These changes are crucial because they show the Raiders' ability to reinvent themselves, even in the face of adversity. In the next subheading, we'll talk about specific strategies for facing the Chiefs with these new pieces.